This is Dan of Vagabond Awake,
𝐂𝐎𝐒𝐒 from 𝐻𝐻 Adventure.
and we're coming to you from the Philippines, and we're in our beachfront bamboo hut.
Are we coming from Philippines? Yes, we are still in Philippines.
That's true, we are. And today we'd like to talk about what we believe is the best country in the world to be in lockdown during the coronavirus.
Can I say something?
No, never. What?
I'm saying that one of the best country to be locked down.
Yes, and we're biased because we're here and we're experiencing it, and we're not in any other country, but we appreciate where we are, and we thought we'd share that with you. We're in the Philippines.
Yeah.
But let me show you real quick where we are. Pretty cool, huh? We're on our little balcony here. Just the ocean's right in front of us. We can hear the water.
Yeah.
So anyway, these are our top 11 reasons why we believe the Philippines are the best spot in the world to get through the lockdown for the coronavirus. And the number one rate, we're doing these in reverse order. The most important ones are towards the end, so make sure to stay. And this is all in writing. We'll give you a link to it at the end, so you don't need to take notes. The death rate in the Philippines, there are 2,115 people that have died of the coronavirus so far, and there are 109 million people living here, so that would be roughly 2,000 people dead per 100 million people. If you compare it to other places like my home country, there is 156,000 people dead now out of 329 million. So we're kicking some serious booty here in the Philippines, and sadly my home country is not doing a good job with coronavirus.
But my home country is doing a very good job.
Yeah.
So far the number until now, the coronavirus case is less than 10,000.
Nice work. Nice work. And so I think the nice thing about talking about the number of deaths per population is it gives you two pieces of data. One is that country keeping the fewest number of people with being diagnosed with coronavirus at all? If that number stays low, the death rate will stay low. And once they are sick, if they go to the hospital, do they survive? It's kind of built in there too, if you think about it. So other numbers aren't as valuable, in my opinion, as the death per 100 million people. And so that's how I judge. But of course, leave your comments below. Okay, the second reason we enjoy being in the Philippines during the coronavirus lockdown is because of the cost of living.
Yes.
It's cheap to be here.
It's cheap, and we love the nature, the beach, the beautiful clean water, oceans, waterfall, yes,
Yeah.
which is so good. And the snorkeling in Philippines is super cheap.
Yeah.
And
the third reason, after cost of living and the death rate, is aggressive containment. I mean, one of the reasons is the Philippines has been successful at keeping the death rate so low is they're very aggressive. You have to wear a mask. They enforce it.
yes,
They enforce the social distancing. Curfews. I mean, they're very serious about it. They realize it's not the wealthiest country in the world, and they're not going to have the potential. What is it, darling?
Oh no, just look into the camera.
Oh, okay. They're not going to be able to be, once someone is sick and in the hospital, they may not have the resources that some countries might, so they've taken it seriously. And so they've taken aggressive containment strategy, and it works well. And so all the power to them.
Mm-hmm.
There's some downside to that. I mean, you don't have the freedom that you have in America. No masks, no...
In Asia, mostly, I think, from my understanding, in Asia, everyone is follow the SOP.
Yeah.
They wear masks, but still have some people not wearing masks. But most of them they're wearing masks.
Yeah.
They're not talking about freedom. There's no freedom.
Yeah, there's more of a overall respect for other people in Asia in general, I think, than America. In America, it's more about what do I want, what's important to me,
Yeah.
and you know, there's some value to that, no doubt about
And
it.
there is-
Freedom in America, but
And the thing is, they don't want to die, and the young people, they understand the dangers about this coronavirus.
Yeah.
They will force their parents to wear masks to do everything.
yeah,
Because me also. But no, you cannot go out in this time. You cannot go this, go
Yeah.
that. Say, you think about that. If you want to enjoy your life, then go. That's all. You will not see us grow up, have a children, and
Yeah.
you see your grandchildren.
so there are times where freedom, in my opinion, trumps, but it's not during a pandemic, and for so little requirement. Wear a mask so you don't give your
Yeah.
disease to someone else. That's such a low requirement for me as a citizen, that I think it's beyond rude for me to, if I were to take off my mask and say I needed freedom. I get it for other things, you know, freedom of the press, freedom of expression. You know, there's a lot of freedoms that are important, but not during a pandemic, saying that wearing a mask takes away your freedom. Okay, the fourth thing that we've noted here is the visa is renewable monthly for up to 36 months. So if you got here and you were planning on touring around the Philippines, but you're stuck in one place, if this thing drags on for a year or two, we can just keep renewing our visa for cheap. It's like $48 for both of us, including the tourist card that is an annual renewal. So it's cheap, it's easy. You can just go in after the first couple of months. You just go in every 6 months and pay for 6 months. So there's not a lot of upkeep. There's no paperwork. You're just paying money basically.
There is the most reason that I appreciate that we during this pandemic we are in the Philippines, because the first thing we are no need to worry about the visa problems. Because some of the country they only give you 3 months, and then after that you have to leave the country.
Yeah.
You have no extensions or no. So far, what my understanding, there is no, unless Thailand have retirement visa.
Yeah, they have retirement
Okay,
visa.
but some country they don't have retirement visa, or the retirement visa is cost more, and you're just traveling, and then you just by the reason you be in that country,
Yeah,
you
have to go get a retirement visa because you have to stay in a country because of a pandemic.
yeah.
That's ridiculous. You were planning on staying there a few months, and now you're going to go pay a $10,000 or $20,000 deposit for a retirement visa. When as soon as the pandemic's over, you're going to leave. That's ridiculous. But the truth is, most countries understand that, and they've just been renewing visas. We have friends in Vietnam that have overstayed the official time for a visa, but they keep renewing because they can't leave. There's no flights. Friends in Malaysia that we know are stuck in Malaysia. So most countries are being responsible about it overall. The negative one is Thailand. We read online that Thailand is set a hard date. All expats need to leave by a certain date. That's beyond ridiculous. There's no
yes.
flights, there's no trains, no
They are
nearby countries will let you
Talking
enter.
about the short-term visa,
Yeah, short term, not the retirement.
not the retirement.
Not
visa,
the retirement. So if you have a short-term tourist visa in Thailand, there's a hard date at some point in September where you have to be out of the country. But no flights, no trains. Where are you going? So we're happy to be here. We can stay up to 36 months. Just keep paying every month or once every 6 months. Polite government employees. I mean, when we do have to interact with the immigration office, they're very polite with us. And the police, a few times we've had to interact with them, they're very polite with us. And so the government here has shown a smiling face to us. Overall, I mean, there's exceptions you'll read about online, but overall,
Yeah.
they're very nice.
What our experience
Our experience.
is good.
That's what we're telling you about, our
Yeah,
experience.
our experience.
On this date, who knows what'll happen in a week, so you have to go update this information on individual things if you're deciding to come here on the date you're coming, but that's what our experience is on the ground here now. The other thing we really appreciate is that every time something changes here, there's a government webpage that they publish it on like a week before it starts. Like they just came up with what I think is a silly rule that you have to have this barrier on a motorcycle between you and the one in front of you. So if like Chung and I ride motorcycles around and we have to have a barrier between us. We don't have a barrier now. We don't have a barrier when we're in bed at night, but somehow when we get on a motorcycle, we need a plastic barrier between us. That's silly thinking.
I will not get on that because that will cause accidents. I know how to drive. I will drive another motorbike, so it's one motorbike to going on.
But the point is, they're clear on what the rules are, and they're published in advance, usually a week or more. You can read them, ask questions. Hallelujah, good on you, Philippines. If you look what happens in the U.S., I don't even know what the rules are there. They differ by state, by city. They're changing all the time. Even at the federal government level, the head of the federal government will say one thing, and then his doctors will say another. And then they'll say, oh, you don't really need to wear a mask. You need to wear a mask. You do, you don't. So you have the public all fighting against each other about whether or not we wear a mask. Is there really even COVID? COVID's a conspiracy. I mean, just ridiculous what's going on in the public space in the U.S. Because there's no clear message coming out of the unified federal government, which they have here. It's not perfect, but it's clear directions.
Because we follow the Facebook on the local government, so they will be telling you what's going on.
Yeah, we read in advance. We can ask questions. And next reason is there's less politics involved in managing a crisis here in the Philippines. Maybe it's happening, but I don't see it. There isn't like a left believes this, the right believes that. And this is a pandemic. I mean, people die from this. You don't need politics involved in that. You need doctors. And so there's less politics here that we can't find any politics. It just, there's some stupid rules they come up with, but it's not like one political side against the other. It's just whether or not the rule makes sense.
Yeah, so far that we haven't read, we read a lot, but we haven't read until this part.
Yeah.
Yeah, just so far that we read this.
From what we've read,
yes.
Here, it seems like most of the energy is going into how do we resolve it?
Yes.
How do we keep people alive?
Yes.
How do we move forward as a public, public health?
Yes.
That seems to be what the government's focused on in the Philippines.
Yes.
You look at the U.S., what do they focus on? Who do we place blame on? We don't want to fix it. We don't want to have a policy. There's no clear directions. So I know, let's figure out who to blame. We'll blame this side. We'll blame that side. We'll blame China. Let's blame everyone. Let's a lot of nonsense that doesn't help anyone figure out how to act. And so, bravo to the Philippines.
And I like the way that they also in the, some shop or the grocery store, they will post very fun article or the sentences to announce, to tell you, you need to wear mask. We will show you this one. You will see it, and it's so funny.
Little comedy routines and stuff.
Yeah, we will show that. You will see it's so cute.
The pandemic is what's serious, right? People are dying. In the U.S., 159,000 people. Here, 2,000 people have died. You can't deny death, right? Mm-hmm. People are actually dying from this thing. That's what needs to be taken serious, not political arguments about one side conspiracy going against another side. I mean, what is that about? It's a waste of energy for public health reasons.
Okay.
Next up, there's no talk here, and this kind of goes against the Thailand. There's no talk here about how the foreigners are the fault for COVID. Let's throw the foreigners out, that kind of thing. That's very important.
That's very important.
Very important. I mean, we've been here since before COVID anybody was talking about COVID, so we're just as likely to have COVID as anyone else. And it's not because we're a foreigner or not a foreigner. It's because we either have COVID or we don't. There's no government policy here to point at anyone and call them, the foreigners are doing it.
The aspect here, they are quite happy with themselves. That so far they we met. Yeah. But they still have some, just a little some. They are complain about the coronavirus, but they're not complain about Philippines.
Yeah. Well, they do a little bit.
Yeah.
Some expats have something to complain about every day, but the majority of the people realize they're in a good spot. They're better than in the U.S.
And they complain, but they are still in Philippines.
Yeah, they stay here.
Just go back to their country.
Right.
Complain. Yes.
The other thing that's great about the Philippines is that it's really just centralized in two cities. Most of the cases are in Manila or Cebu. Now, there's still some risk in other provinces.
Yeah, it's near to the Mindanao. I can't remember that. It's near to the CDO that side, the down part, which is more.
Cagayan de Oro.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have some there too.
Yeah, there's some because over there is danger. It is quite. Sorry, see, you keep making the noise. Yeah.
Right.
So
those are the main areas. So those are the 11 reasons why we're happy to be in the Philippines during the coronavirus.
And we are lucky we have this private beach resort with white sand beaches.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so we also got a very nice house that we rent in here.
Yeah, we're just here for for 4 days.
Yeah.
3 nights, and we're enjoying this beachfront thing. We have a nice house. We also have, this is just a resort we're staying at, and we're lucky we can come here. I mean, even though they're very regimented in the Philippines about social distancing, wearing masks, cleaning your hands, all of it, they're also, so long as you follow those rules, you can do things like this.
If you are new and you don't know who am us, that's I'm Chang Hui. I'm from Malaysia.
Yeah. And she has her webpage, 𝐂𝐎𝐈𝐈𝐍𝐆. There'll be a link up here somewhere. You can go to her YouTube channel webpage. Please subscribe to that.
And this Dan from Vagabond Away is talk about where to retire cheap in paradise.
Yeah.
He trying to find you a place that you can live in a budget with $1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, and our cost of living is almost like in $1,000 to $1,005 US.
Yeah, that's so that's what I do. I write these retired cheap reports. They're at vagabondbuddha.com, my webpage. And please like, subscribe to this video, and stay tuned. We'll be coming up more about the best places in the world to live or retire cheap. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching, and stay safe.
Yeah. Bye-bye. Please click the link in the notes below this YouTube video to get a copy of this content. Pause the video now to read this important liability disclaimer that limits your rights. You can also find this disclaimer in the description below this YouTube video. Basically, your reliance on the information in our videos is strictly at your own risk. So seek appropriate professional advice before taking any action on our videos.